to yet another episode of Tried and True, where I like to keep it a buck in all pennies. I got a special guest with me today, man. We're going to be talking about my some things from my first book, man, some principles and some things that I know this gentleman has lived by, and he exemplifies a lot of the stuff that, a lot of my values. He's someone that I look up to, and without further ado, I'm going to let you say your name and tell the people who you are before I jump into it, man. I'm just excited to have you. So thank you again.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
You know the feeling. You know how I feel about you, bro. What up, though? It's your boy, Laneo. I'm just excited to be here with you, man, to just come and talk about this great accomplishment that you've just achieved. I feel like, I mean, as far as writing this book, and it was a great read, man, and I'm excited to just
thank you, man.
Kind of go through some things with you with it, man, and just share some of my experiences too.
I appreciate it. I'm grateful that you read it in the first place. It's I think that it's a book that is for people who are gonna apply it. It's not for people who just are looking for more information to throw in their memory bank.
Right.
So for someone like, for the entrepreneurs or even just the people who have goals in mind, whatever they're doing, it's a book for those people. So the fact that you read it is a gift to me. I will say, I don't know if the people caught it. Your name is Laneo. This is a phenomenal recording artist. I'd like to believe that he's a serial investor. He is known for going all in on just things. He's known for taking action where other people are not necessarily brave enough to take action, and I think that's where we relate. So let me make sure I throw some little gold sparkles on your name.
I appreciate you, man. I'll take my flowers while I'm here, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
man.
you.
I'm gonna give them while you here.
I appreciate that.
And I peeped the gear. What up, though?
Hey, man, you know, follow me.
Yeah.
Get some of that.
At the end, we'll tag, we'll throw in the handles and all that too, so people can literally follow you. So, yeah, without further ado, let me get into the book. So the book is called The Deciding Factor. For people who don't know what the book is called, it's an ebook available through my website, tribalhaven.me. And, yeah, it's just a personal development. It was designed to help people connect the dots. People wonder often, what are the differences between me and the other person who came from the same place, same scenario, same resources, and why are they achieving their goals at a high level, and maybe why am I not yet?
Right.
And a lot of people, anyone who's serious about doing and accomplishing, has those questions, because we are trying to become that next version of ourselves. So we're actively trying to figure out what's the difference.
Yep.
So chapter 1 is titled The Difference Between You and You. Yep. So I think that the first thing that I try to do with people in the book is I try to define success, because I talk a lot about personal success, which you're very familiar with, not the world's view of success.
Right.
Like not society's view, or not what your mother and father tell you should be successful.
Right, it's customizable. Right, it's your thing, right? Your success.
Exactly.
It should look like what you said it should look like.
Exactly. So my question to you, firstly, it would be, if you could just define success, like what does that mean to you? Like what is success?
Yeah, man. I mean, just kind of going off, you know, what I just said as far as it customizable. So I feel like, to be honest, like success is a day-to-day thing, right? Like I feel like it should be something that, well, for me, I look at it down in a scheme of like, I break it into sections, right? Like, you know, like there's the grand scheme of what success can look like for me. When I think about tangible things like homes, cars, you know, jewelry, clothes, all those type of things.
Tangible.
Right. You know what I mean? Some of those bonuses that come with it. But I feel like true success is a feeling. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's I base it off how I'm feeling that day, right? Like, if I could wake up and get to a space that I know that I can operate at what I'm good at doing then I'm successful. You know what I mean? In that moment, because I feel like to look too far into it, it kind of gets blurry, man. And it's almost easier to look back. And I know in your book you talk about, you know, where you would have been versus like where you're at now based off of, you know what I mean, experiences. Yeah.
But in the circumstances.
But that doesn't mean you haven't been successful, even throughout those things, I feel like. So I think for me, success is a day-to-day accomplishment for me. Like I just be trying to feel great about me. You know what
period. I mean? About Laneo. Simple as that. Is Laneo happy with Laneo?
Right.
I think I'm glad that you said it that way, because that's the same way that I try to define it in the book. I try to get people to see that so they can relieve themselves of the pressure of other people's expectations. Right. And I think it's important for us to realize, like you said, it is a day to day. Like I need to be able to get up and I need to be able to get up in the morning and know what will I be happy with completing today.
Right.
Not do I need to drive myself into a ditch trying to
Exactly.
overdo it, or like do I need to get rich today, or do I need to get married today? There's a lot of women who have there's like this. It's like a secret pandemic.
But it's just people in general, right? Like everybody's facing something that's applying pressure to what success should look like.
Period.
Right?
Did I get that promotion? Do I make this certain dollar amount? It's not. First of all, that's not the way it happens. 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10. But number two, my success should not be contingent upon if I did the thing that will make you happy.
Right.
Or it will make me look a certain way. Like you said, it's about and you can feel it.
That's right.
Do I feel all right with me? Am I all right with me?
Yeah. No,
Today,
it is
just to, because all I got is today. Yesterday is dead, and tomorrow don't exist.
It don't exist, bro.
All we have is
right now.
moments. That's literally it. We got
it.
right now is the only thing that's actually real.
Bro.
Am I all right with me right now?
That's right.
That's
the
facts.
whole you. That's the you versus you, right? Like that's why I think that chapter was. I think it's a great way to open that book up because it kind of just dives straight into it, right? Like
Yeah.
just the whole things that you have, the things you have to decide, right? That the deciding factor, right?
Yep.
Like, but the only way you can start to make those decisions, I feel like, is just when you start looking at yourself. You know what I mean? And I know there's a part in the book, and I know you probably was going to talk about it, but
About self-reflection.
right, bro. Yeah. Like, but you know, my thing that when I read that part, obviously I identified with it, but what really made me what it made me think about with myself was that like the work that you got to put in.
Yeah.
And you talk about that there too. Is it's just like it's not easy, right? To look at yourself and be like, all right, even just from a space of I'm trying to make sure I'm feeling good today, right? Like it's not easy to be looking at yourself to be like, why am I off today? What's not ticking? What's
it hurts.
What's not connecting, right? Like, and then that's why it's better to be in the moment, because if you start to, you have those same feelings and then you looking at the big scheme of the pressure that the world's giving you of what success, man,
Because plus that.
you're going to drown. You know what I mean? Like you're for real. Like,
And you'll be drowning yourself.
yeah, that's suicide.
That's what it is. It happens in the mind first.
Yeah, for sure.
That's ridiculous. So you touched on the topic of self-reflection. I have a chapter that I think is titled Self-Reflection. I'm not going to get into that, but on the topic of that being a painful process, I wanted to ask you about or talk to you about the trial and error sort of an aspect of it too, the necessity of trial and error.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think people think trial and error and they think it's like in your mind, you imagine yourself trying a bunch of things and succeeding at a bunch of little things and then tweaking your process, but that's not what it is. Right. It's trial and error. It's doing my best at something and then finding out I did it wrong.
That's right.
Over and over and over and over and over. And then having to come back and look at me who got those things wrong over and over and over. And it's like, on one end, it causes a lot of people to think like, why isn't anything I do good enough?
Right.
On the other end, when you start to, because that is a sentiment that comes, and it's a feeling and emotions as part of the human cycle. It's just, it happens. But on the other end of that, once you start to combat those and you become like an emotional ninja is what I call it. Because the emotions come, exactly. The emotions come and you have to be smooth and swift with your reactions to them. You got to ask yourself the important questions like, okay, let me stop and not ask why nothing I do is good enough. Let me change that question to what do I need to do differently?
Right.
I might not need to change everything.
That's right.
Most times I don't.
Right.
What if I can just find out what I need to do differently and then get it wrong again?
Yeah.
And it I don't know. I think what you said kind of drives that home because you brought up that it's tough to have to look in the mirror like that again and again and again and again. And especially if you got people watching.
Right.
Because then you start looking at you the way you looking at you, and then you think they looking at you the way you looking at you too.
Yeah.
It's tricky. So and it's another thing I wanted to ask you about or talk to you about was the necessity of pain in the process. Because two things I say that go together.
Hold that. Let me hit you with that.
Go for it.
What you just talked about as far as like the process, right? Like that trial and that error, right? Like I feel like trial and error it's necessary. You know what I mean? Like I like now more than often we hear like it's not really a loss, it's a lesson, right? You hearing how that's trending, and it's like it's very true. You know what I mean? But again, the thing that comes with that is the work of knowing like every day you're not gonna hit the target, right? But the goal though is to hit the target
eventually.
Yeah, to still shoot for it. Because the thing about trial and error, the only thing that trumps a try is not doing it. You know what I mean? Like to try and fail, that just balances itself out, I feel like. But if you don't get up and do nothing, if you like, I didn't hit it yesterday, so I'm not gonna even give it a chance.
That's 100%
it's over.
Failure. That's truth. That's something in the book I call true failure.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's over at that point. So I'm a firm believer that
you killed the dream.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, to go back to that, what we were just talking about as far as like those pressures from the outside world, right? I think that everything's become so instant, right? Like you can get everything so quick, everything so fast.
Instant gratification.
You know what I mean? And what happens is that that messes up trial and error, right? It messes up that whole, what that representing your journey. And then, like, I like to call it, the process of elimination, right? It's not the elimination of process.
I put a spin on that, but I'm gonna get there. I'm so glad you brought that up.
People be trying to eliminate the process.
Bruh.
It's part of it. It's called the process of elimination. You got to do the things you got to get them wrong. You know what I mean? Get close, maybe mess up, start all over.
Because through the process, you are eliminating room for error.
That's right.
And that is how you get it right.
That's right.
Trial and error. So you have to keep on trying. You have to keep getting it wrong. Right. You have to keep refining it until it's like a focused laser beam and you can actually hit the target.
That's right.
You got to eliminate enough room for error so then you didn't make an error.
That's right.
And then like maybe you made an error, but as far as it's concerned.
If that's what you're calling it, right? For the sake of having words to use. If that's what you call it.
If that's what you're calling it.
Right.
For sake of excellence, everything can always be better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You see? This is why I got you. This is why I got you on episode 1.
You know what I mean?
This is why I got you on episode 1. All right. So to go along with what you said, eliminating the actual process, robbing yourself of the process and robbing your future self of the stamina it actually takes to withstand what'll come against you in meeting the goal.
Yeah.
Because with achieving comes this daunting, it's like a cloud that's like, oh, now I got to keep up this momentum. What am I going to do next?
Right.
And you'll be prepared for that, and it won't be bad. It'll actually kind of be exciting, like a luxury almost, if you have been through the process already and you like, oh, again?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Because now it's like when you play Mario and you lost on the level 5 times. And
you know
like,
the corners you got to cut.
You already know.
You know if
this
you roll in that grass.
Pipe. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be like, I got to give it everything I got.
I'm hit this box, a mushroom going to come out. If I hit that box, a star going to come out. It's going to be some little turtle, little brown mushroom
But that's
things.
that repetition, though. That's that getting back up every time. You know what I mean?
Every time. I don't remember. What did they say? Thomas Edison, was it like 10,000 tries or 1,000 tries or something? He didn't get it. It was like 10,000.
Yeah.
He didn't get it right. He was wrong that many times. And they asked him, how did you continue to like press forward through all that failure? And he's like, I wasn't failing. Like I didn't fail 9,999 times.
But that was according to himself, though, his own success. But see, the view of the people was going to misconstrue that to be like, dude, you garbage. What are you doing? You got this wrong how many times?
That's how the question was phrased to him, too. And I may not be getting this 100% perfect, but y'all going to get the point. He said, I didn't fail that many times. I discovered that many ways not to do it.
Right. Until I got it right.
That's
so genius. And then, but then the beauty in that is then that becomes your blueprint, right? Like how you said, playing the game, you eventually get it right.
I'm getting excited.
Now you get a blueprint. And now you like, I could throw anything in that, right? I could throw anything in that mix. And you get excited because you're ready to use your tools.
And now I can duplicate.
Yeah. What else can I do? What's next?
I ain't even see you open up the whole can.
You open that up when you talk about the elimination. You know what I mean? It makes space. You got to make space to be able to get new things and be able to, but the only way to get new things is you got to shed old things, right? Like you got to look at self, right? Like that chapter talks about. And then you got to start digging in the sense of like, okay, what am I trying to get better at, right? What version of myself do I see myself being? And what are the things that I got to do to be able to be there?
How do I bridge that gap? How can I shorten the gap between who I am right now, who maybe I'm okay with, but I'm not necessarily the person that I want to be. I'm not the person yet who I'm on my way to. How do I shorten that gap until I can
The
actually
deciding
just step
factor,
into
y'all.
that?
Y'all got to go get that. The deciding, not the
Get the book.
Got to get the book.
Get the book, man.
Go get the book.
Tribalhaven.me, man.
Stop playing.
Stop playing with yourself. Okay, so all right, on that topic, kind of segueing into the next one. I'm jumping around a bit, and I knew this was going to happen. That's why I like to keep it conversational. So the necessity of the pain in the process. I touched on a little bit about how it gives you the stamina necessary for later. If you rob yourself of the process, you will break, but it's not going to be, it'll be in the worst time. You're going to break on a stage that you weren't prepared to break on.
Right, and this was your moment.
And this was actually your moment.
Right.
It won't be in practice.
Right.
Because you eliminated practice.
That's right.
You eliminated the training process.
Yeah.
You're going to break in the finals.
That's right. And everybody's watching you.
And everybody's
all them
watching
same
you.
people, right? All those same thoughts that you thought was impeding you in practice, like, oh, I can't get better. And now they here to see you for real.
Because they want to see you be who you said you were.
That's right.
They came to watch Superman.
Yeah.
Or a woman or whatever.
That's right.
They came. They didn't come to see Wakanda under construction.
Yeah.
They wanted to see the city.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But you eliminated that process. That is what the process and the pain actually does for people. It's like when this is the way I like to put it. I don't remember who said this to me. I think it was my mentor like years ago. But you break a bone, it grows back thicker and stronger than it did before.
Yeah.
Now, before the breaking, we can fetishize that and we can fantasize about how you'll be stronger if you go through this. During the breaking, everyone feels like we get this sentiment of, why did I get myself into this?
Right.
The difference between the deciding factors, these are the differences between those who achieve or reap the benefit of what comes after that and those who don't. Do I continue anyway? That's where stamina comes in. Buster Douglas, this is how Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson.
Right.
He beat Mike Tyson because he got up. No one got up after Mike Tyson knocked him out, period. Buster Douglas was done, but he told his mom that he was going to beat Mike Tyson someday. And his mom had just died before the fight.
Put that on mama for real.
She had just died before the fight. He got knocked out. He lost in Mike Tyson's eye. The fight was done. It was another day for Mike. He just murdered this dude.
Right.
But in Buster's mind, he said, this is my breaking. I'm on a world stage. I have actually been through the process. Am I going to forget my training? That's why planes crash. Am I going to forget my training?
Right.
It's not a mechanical malfunction. Your body going to give up. Your mind going to give up before your body really does. You will convince yourself that you have no more left in you before your body actually has nothing left in it.
Right.
All he did was get up.
That's right.
And he broke Mike's his strategy and his will was greater than Mike's will during that fight. It was greater. He won the fight when he got up. He didn't win the fight when he won the fight.
That will is that willpower. Yeah.
And he developed that stamina because he continued to press on through the breaking and through the pain, through the process. So I also discuss the necessity of breaking your own will to come into new levels of your own willpower, really discovering self and developing discipline.
Right. That's a tough word right there.
It's a dirty word.
Man, discipline.
That's a cuss word right there.
That's a cuss word. Discipline. You go in the room and say discipline real loud. Watch everybody get the
Your grandma gonna slap you.
Right.
Bruh, discipline, but it's the name of the game. The way I describe discipline is it's me putting boundaries on myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the world to put any boundaries on me.
Fact.
So I remove that luxury and I do it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I impose my will on myself, therefore making me greater. I put myself through the breaking.
Yep.
And I put myself in positions to discover self and be humbled in the mirror.
That you versus you.
That you versus you. So that once I go out in the world, I don't need the world not going to discipline me beyond the discipline that I've given myself.
Right.
That's not true for everybody.
That's right.
Discipline is to be developed, just like that broke leg.
Mm-hmm.
So you are someone who, this is a quality that I admire in you and a couple other people that we work with, but I really admire this in you. It's always great talking with you about discipline. And I'm gonna shut up about it because I'll go on forever. It's one of my favorite topics.
Yeah.
I just would like to ask you, discipline, the importance of it. What is it? And any advice to people who are trying to develop it because they don't necessarily know how. They're not unwilling. They're just confused.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, discipline, again, right? Very strong word, very necessary word for anybody on that self-seeking journey, like pretty much what your books breaks down. You know what I mean? But discipline is very crucial to the mission because it's what puts you in routine, right? It is like you said, like the breaking down of self. You got to tear yourself down, right? I feel like nothing great comes just overnight, right? Like it takes a lot of just getting it right, starting over. You know what I mean? Going back to the plan. But sticking to it regardless. But knowing that with discipline, that means sacrifice. So there's things you got to give up.
Another dirty word.
Right, another dirty word. But they're partners, right? Because I feel like discipline means that, like, for instance, if you're someone that says, hey, look, I want to change my diet, right? You have to be disciplined enough to know, like, that don't mean because you about to change your diet that they're going to stop making French fries.
And it don't mean you don't want French fries.
Right. You're going to still want them. So can you acknowledge the fact that they're going to be around and you still want them, but you know, right, I'm not going to do it because I'm telling myself that, right? So with discipline, it means preparation, right? You have to prepare yourself mentally for things. So that's why discipline is important. I think about like raising a child, right, and implementing discipline into their life early on, right, as their parent or their protector, because what you know as an adult is that that's what's going to actually keep you in a space to where you could be safe, you can prosper, because you're already checking yourself before you walk out the house. You're not leaving the house with all this bad energy on you to somebody else. You run to somebody else who ain't checking themselves, right? And now, boom, now we got a mess on the streets.
Chemical reaction is bad.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like discipline is very important for anybody just on their journey. You know what I mean? And to the other party, the other question, as far as like people being confused about it, right? I think it's not so much the confusion. I think people get caught up in not knowing what the first step to discipline is, right? Ooh, because if your main scheme of yourself,
like where to start,
right? You see yourself being like a NASA, you know, I'm working at NASA, right? But you looking at yourself right here, I'm at square one, and I got to get to square 1,000, right? So you're like, oh my God, what do I do to get myself disciplined to even? So I say start small. I'm always big on starting small. Like, you don't go into a gym and be like, I want to be the biggest guy and go start with
big doors swing on small hinges.
You know what I mean? So it's like start small. If you know you're not, I said this the other day, I was like, if you know you somebody that doesn't make your bed up in the morning, but it's something small, right? It's not nothing major. Nobody else is going to see it. Only you're going to see it. Only you can commit to it. Start doing that, right? Make your bed up, right? Become habitual with it. Make it your routine. So now it's second nature. So then you start to understand the concept of discipline. Like, oh, I could do it so often to where it's like, it don't bother me no more. I already got started. I don't need to start over no more. It's already my blueprint. I'm already in a space, right?
It's you now.
Right. So discipline it's essential because it's actually the first part of dying to self, right? You have to be disciplined to look at yourself and then make those changes about yourself. And you know what I mean? It's easy for us to talk about it. It's even easy to read it and even connect with it, but that's not easy to apply.
Say that.
Because the thing about discipline is like, what I tell myself, right, personally, is that you got options in life. So would you rather live with the pain of regret at the end of your time, right? Or would you rather live with the pain of discipline, getting up early,
or
staying
the pain
later,
of the process?
The pain of the process. That's the journey is everything.
It's literally everything.
Learning discipline is everything. You know what I mean? People have said like, "Oh, send my kid off to the military. Need some discipline." Right? Because that, in other words,
it's that important.
Someone needs structure. You're someone who needs structure in your life, right? Because it's important to have structure. You couldn't build a house with just some bricks and no foundation. Usually, I'm just gonna build these walls tall up, bro. You're not playing Minecraft. This ain't
when the weather comes,
it's over. The big bad wolf come, it's over. You see what house lasted?
And the big bad wolf is coming.
He coming every day, sometimes,
all the time.
He might be out there in the yard, bro. But you wasn't disciplined enough to be like, now I'm going to take my time and build my house right. Now I'm just going to get these sticks so I can get it cracking. Because everybody want to come over.
Fast.
All the other little piggies want to come to my house. Right now, I'm trying to get it going.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, that instant gratification. Now, the big bad wolf has showed up.
And he was peeping the whole time.
And all the little piggies, he's like, save us. I can't. Let's go to my brother's.
And you know who saved them? The one with discipline is the one who saved them.
Yeah, period.
And
We've been learning this since kids, bro. Think about the grasshopper. I mean, not the rabbit and the turtle. We've been learning this from day one.
The tortoise and the hare.
Yeah, bro. We've been learning this from day one. This is elementary, right?
Literally.
And
that, okay. Let me just throw this out there. That's another key. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. It's not rocket science.
Keep it simple. The complicated things will be there, and they will be complicated. Yeah. Keep the simple things simple. That's something I talk about in the second book. We're not talking about today.
All right.
But it's decision fatigue.
Hey, the deciding factor, y'all. He ain't shouting it out, but I'm telling y'all, go get that. It's your boy Lano.
That's how you know I wrote it for the people. I be forgetting to tell people to buy it.
Just in here conversating. I am Lano, and the deciding factor is out everywhere. Don't let me forget to make sure we tell the people all your handles. Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get there.
Man, you this is why I got you on episode 1, man, and I'm hoping to involve you in several more of these conversations.
Yeah, man. You know I'm here for it. I'm here for you, man.
It's just a pleasure to be able to glean from somebody that understands what I be talking about, man. Sometimes out in the world, it's like we're so few and far between.
Of course.
Which I would like for us to be less, few and far between, but the reality is that there aren't that many. I don't want to call them superheroes. I'll just call them heroes because it's not super.
Right.
But hero is like a title that you could gain. It's like task. I will be a hero in a moment. I'm not super, even though people may think I'm super. But what makes me the hero sometimes in some scenarios when you talked about structure is, think of it like this. If you were to send your kid off to the military, or you got sent off to the military because you needed discipline and that's what mom and pop said you needed, they sent you off to someone to give you discipline.
Right.
Those of us who are, I don't want to say those of us, I'm actually not this way. In times I can be, though. With some things, I'm like hella not structured at all. With some things, I need to call up somebody. I need to get in the studio with Laneo. I need to get in the studio with Bugs Connor. I need to get in the studio with Wick.
Right.
Like I need to come in here and I need to get in with Eric, and I need to get in this environment so that I'm not providing my own structure. I need to go put myself in a system sometimes. Yeah. And that takes accountability.
For sure.
That's what you reflect and you realize, listen, maybe with my weight, I need an accountability partner because I'm not hitting the gym if my trainer doesn't call me every other day. I'm just not.
Right.
I am honest enough with myself to admit that, and I'm accountable enough to myself, even though my will does not permit me to get up and go to the gym in the morning.
Right.
I want it just bad enough to tell someone, don't let me sleep in. Let's get up and go to the gym. Right. Because future me gonna be pissed.
Right.
So help me.
Yeah. Nah. I feel that totally. But then that's like a double-edged sword to me though, because I feel like we all start off with training wheels. We got to look at those spaces when we in those spaces of all right, somebody give me a push, right? We got to look at those spaces as extremely fragile and temporary, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's you got to ask yourself, why do you want this other person to push you?
Yep.
Because you may need a little bit more, right? Boom, to push to see you now you can see yourself doing it. I can do this. I could do this. So you can start telling yourself, I could do this. Because I think what happens if we don't transfer that type of energy right and treat it the correct way, then people like to lean on.
Yeah, you don't want to end up living with a crush.
Yeah, people like to eat excuses sometimes.
Then that becomes a disability.
Yeah, then you
what becomes a disability where you didn't have one.
What about when I start slacking, right? And then you well, I guess we slacking. Nah, it's a you versus you. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's the chapter? What's the chapter?
The difference between you and you.
The difference between you and you. That's what it is. It's a difference between you and you.
That's the difference.
Yeah, it's a you and you thing. Everything is a you thing. But I do agree with you as far as putting yourself in spaces to where you can tap into your other skill sets, right? To strengthen those, or the ones that you're not so good at. Get yourself in spaces with people who may be good at those things, so then you can sharpen yourself up against that.
And you know what?
Firm believer of that.
So that people are able to do the thing that you just said. I think a place for people to start, just so I can remain educational, is remember why you did that. Remember your intent.
Your why.
Why did I get the trainer?
Right.
Don't forget the reason why. You didn't get them because it's their job to do this for you.
That's right.
You just needed a jump. You needed a jump start. But don't forget that your intent was to drive yourself.
Check this out. So jump start, right? You get a jump start, your battery dead, you get a jump start. Where you headed? You gonna go to work or you gonna go get a new battery? You know what I'm saying? What you doing? Like, if I wake up, my battery's dead, bro, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get a jump so I can go get a new battery. I'm not about to keep letting people jump me all day. Hey, bro, what you doing? Hit me. Hey. And now let's say now you plug me the first day. Now I'm hitting you again. Now you're gonna feel some type of way like, hold up, bro.
Our relationship's taking a hit.
Yeah.
Because now I'm gonna be like,
I got up and came over there. What did you do?
And then my question, I'm gonna be like, so do you need help getting a battery?
But that's back to your why though, right? The why. Why did you need a jump start? Because I need a battery.
You needed a jump because you need a battery. You didn't need a jump to get to work. You needed a jump because you need a battery.
So then you could do whatever else you need to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? That's in the second book. Now
Laneo, ladies and gentlemen. Laneo, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Well, you dropping bombs. I wish I don't got a button, but all right.
They can hear it going on. It's all good. got Eric over there.
You got me about to go do 3 podcasts.
Yeah. Rolling, baby. There it
go. There it go. I ain't even
Hey, that's the best bomb, the late one.
Yo, yeah.
The one that you was like,
oh,
I think it's a dud.
Right.
Psych.
Live minds, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's up, man. All right. I don't want to man, I think this is a good place for us to land the plane. I would like to, before we land the plane, so I don't forget, please tell the people what you got going on and where they can find you and the thing that you have going on.
For sure. So again, it's your boy Laneo. You can find me on Instagram. That's where most of my traffic is at. That's at Laneo Lang. That's LaneoLang. I got a single out right now called Beautiful Motherfucker.
Oh, that's the one.
Man, that's the one. I promise you.
Wow.
Don't let the words throw you, but teamed up with some great guys down at Bright Future Media to record that actual record.
Shout out to them.
Yep. And then my good brother Jeremy Pape to actually shoot that video.
Shout out to him.
A lot of traction off of that. So go peep, check it out. But I got a lot of stuff rolling out, man. I got the album coming hopefully this year, this summer. You know what I mean? Hoping that it's pandemic proof. But that's gonna be amazing.
Can't wait. What you think about?
Man, we're gonna talk off camera about that.
Yeah.
But I just got a lot of stuff rolling right now, man. And I'm just in a space where I'm just I'm coming off of being vulnerable, right? And now I'm in a space of just like I can just create, right? And so I got a lot of content, got a lot of great things coming, man. And I'm just here to just be a voice for myself and to people who are voiceless, right? In the hip hop community.
And we need more voices like yours. I'm excited for what you got coming. Phenomenal video, by the way. This is Laneo Lang at LANEO Lang, LANG. Peep him. Peep that video.
Come get you a shirt too. What up though?
Yeah, what up? I mean, the texture.
I teamed up with my folks down at Lawrence and Larimer. Shout out to them.
Shout out to
JC
them.
and Kiana.
I need to get them a call.
My folks, DJ Dope Wave.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you definitely need to go tap in, man.
Yeah.
Support black business. They just some pillars to me, man, and it was dope to just be able to link up with them and create something. So y'all go tap in and get y'all a shirt, man, and
Solid.
stay tuned.
Linking up with minds that think alike. Hey, we gonna land this plane. Another episode of Tried and True down, and the deciding factor. Go get that. tribalhaven.me. You can follow me, Big Solly, BIGSOLLY, or you can follow the Tribal Haven pages on all platforms, which is just TRIBALHAVEN LLC. That's the Instagram and probably the Facebook as well. Go peep that. And it's probably on Twitter too. Grab the book. Let me know what you think. Submit questions, comments, podcast ideas, and we out, man. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey, man, thank you, brother.